Hello everyone, it's Alina. Welcome to my Soap General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. At the Port Charles Grill, TJ and Jordan agreed that their supper had been long overdue because of their busy schedules. To Jordan's amazement, TJ stated that Kristina had undergone the procedure to fertilize her egg earlier that day. He confessed that he'd first had doubts about Kristina being his and Molly's surrogate, but his chat with Kristina had changed everything. Jordan was curious why TJ and Molly had changed their minds after putting a break on their plans following the miscarriage, so he explained that it hadn't been fair to ask Kristina to put her life on hold until the perfect time presented itself, because it might never come. TJ informed his mother that he and Molly were confident that they had made the proper decision. Pleased, Jordan pledged that she would love her grandchild regardless of how they entered the world. Jordan commended TJ as a smart person who has been doing a good job of selecting his own fate, and she said she couldn't be prouder of him. When Jordan's phone continued beeping with notifications, TJ wondered who was blowing up her phone. Jordan revealed that she and Curtis were unofficially investigating a shooting, but she didn't elaborate. TJ had some reservations, but Jordan promised him that she would turn the inquiry over to the police if things took a dangerous turn. Her phone continued to buzz with notifications, but TJ persuaded his mother that it was fine for her to depart and take care of business. After Jordan exited the restaurant, she retreated into an alley to arrange a meeting with someone on the phone. However, things took an alarming turn when she stopped the call, and a man wearing a suit approached her. Moments later, he was joined by another man. Jordan shouted to know who they were and what they wanted, but each man grabbed an arm and marched her away. At the Quartermain estate, Carly confessed that she and Michael were in familiar ground because a year before, he had accused her of playing God with Willow's life when she'd guarded the secret that Nina was Willow's biological mother. Michael regretted his harsh comments to his mother, but she conceded that he'd been correct when he'd informed her that she'd made a vital decision without contemplating the ramifications for anyone. Michael recognized that he should have realized that things would blow out and that he'd chosen his father's happiness over his mother's. "I'm also a giant hypocrite," he said. Michael indicated that cutting off Nina would have made Willow suspicious, so he had decided to contain the damage. "Blackmail for the greater good?" Carly asked. Michael recognized that it was hypocritical, but he'd been called worse. "I think that makes you your mother's son," Carly replied. Carly told him that she understood his motives for keeping Nina's secret, but it had hurt. Michael said that he had told himself that Sonny was happy, and that both Carly and Drew had moved on. Carly pointed out that Michael had forgotten the critical lesson they had learned from her own terrible choices the previous year. Even with the best of intentions, keeping things buried have unintended consequences, she warned. Michael agreed since nothing ever stayed buried. He hated how he had handled the information that he'd learned about Nina since he had ended up hurting the two most important women in his life. Michael was racked with sorrow for not treating his mother properly, but she told him that she loved him completely. "Even if the man you love doesn't feel the same way?" Michael asked. Michael knew that he had put his mother in a bad spot with Drew. Carly acknowledged that Drew had been struggling since the attack at Pentonville. Michael nodded in understanding since no one left Pentonville the same as they went in. Carly gripped her son's arm as they both silently recognized Michael's stay in Pentonville. Michael was touched when Carly told him that she would talk to Drew. He appreciated her forgiveness, but she insisted that she would always love and forgive him. However, Carly told Michael that his apology tour wasn't done because he needed to make things right with Willow. "There's nothing more important than your wife and your children," she remarked. Carly implored Michael not to let Nina ruin his family more than she already had. Before Michael could reply, Melanie stepped at the doorway to let Michael know that Wiley had been asking for his father. After the nanny left, Michael stated that the kids were in the nursery because Willow was working a late shift. Carly begged Michael to give Wiley a hug for her. After Michael went, Carly grabbed out her phone. A short while later, she left Drew a voicemail message as Michael returned. Later, Michael entered the foyer as Willow arrived home. He was surprised to see her and volunteered to stay out of her way. Michael headed to the living room. Willow followed him since she knew that he'd had some unpleasant chats that day, and she wanted to check on him. Michael recognized that Drew had been rightfully outraged, but his mother had given him grace and understanding. Willow said that Nina had dropped the bombshell on Carly and Drew, and she'd been ready to do it. The topic swiftly shifted to Michael's decision to shield Willow from Mina. Willow stated that Nina could be bitter and envious and that Nina had wanted to send Carly to prison to get Carly out of Wiley, Amelia, and Sunny's life. Willow also agreed that Nina was manipulative, insecure, and a liar, but that was precisely why Willow had been allowed to know the truth. Willow said that she didn't want Michael's protection, she wanted the truth from him, always. Willow emphasized that Nina, being a nasty person, hadn't absolved Michael of wrongdoing. Michael stressed that he was not seeking absolution, but rather, he hoped for Willow's forgiveness. Willow advised him that it wouldn't happen overnight, but Michael argued that preserving their distance from each other wouldn't help either. Suddenly, Wiley stood in the doorway and begged his parents if they might all go home. Michael glanced at Willow, but she remained mute, so Michael politely volunteered to accompany Wiley and Amelia to the gatehouse, tuck them in, and read a goodnight tale. Wiley wasn't thrilled when he realized that Michael wouldn't be spending the night, and he asked his parents when they would all be together again. At Charlie's pub, Drew took a seat next to Anna at the bar and ordered a drink. Anna closed the book that she'd been reading as she met Drew. When Drew muttered about the Cosmos continuously knocking him down, Anna revealed that she could empathize. Drew and Anna commiserated about their sentiments of anger and their recent issues. Anna said that shooting Charlotte had been the worst moment of her life and that she'd been cycling through a lot of emotions. Drew empathized since he understood it may be exhausting. Anna revealed that her book suggested that anger was a byproduct of fear, but she conceded that she was only on the first chapter since she couldn't focus. Anna glanced the door and said that she'd been waiting for a buddy to arrive. They continued to converse, and Drew revealed that her presence had made him realize that he needed to get the toxicity out of his life. "You let me know how that goes," Anna added. Anna acknowledged that she didn't know what life looked like beyond the WSB, but Drew reassured her that she had plenty of time to find things out. When Drew's phone rang, he mentioned that it was Carly, but he didn't answer it. Anna said that she had learned from experience that it gets easier to ignore calls after the first time. She pointed out that they both had a lot of questions, but Drew had someone who loved him and wanted to support him. A short time later, Carly approached the bar and greeted Drew and Anna. Anna told Carly that Bobby's service had been magnificent, and they would all miss her. Touched, Carly thanked her. After Anna stepped away to make a call, Carly sat down and thanked Drew for calling her. She admitted that Michael should have told them about Mina, but she understood what it was like to make blunders in the cause of shielding her family from Mina. Drew felt convinced that he and Michael would work things out because the brunt of his wrath was reserved for Mina. "Join the club," Carly answered. Drew indicated that the failed merger and Carly's investment would not have been on the SEC's radar, but for Mina. Her actions had left him at the mercy of the judge and dangerous convicts, and they had ripped him away from his only kid. Carly empathized, but she reminded him that they no longer had to pretend to play nice with Mina. "We can put Nina in the rear view," Carly remarked. "Not me," Drew said. Drew said that Nina deserved to pay for the damage that she had caused both him and Carly, and their families. Carly agreed, and she hoped that someday that would happen. Drew wasn't willing to wait because he knew just what to do. So what do you guys think about this update? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like my videos, please press like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.